Hey guys, Mike from Fantasy Rush. This is Steve. I'm still kind of
He's a little sad right now.
cloud one, I guess you could say.
I think sad is a bit of an understatement.
My boy Calvin Johnson dropped in that 1 yard on the 1 yard line. I don't even know how to describe it, dude. I feel like I've been walking around with a weight in my stomach. I was too many emotions in that.
I'm just wondering, like, is it time to put a paper bag on your head?
It's not time for the paper bag.
Is it time? Or do we
not.
have one in here somewhere?
No.
I can cut out some holes.
This is not going to be an 0-16 Lions team. Not again.
Again, yeah.
Not again. Not again.
Because it has happened.
This is not the team.
You know they're the only team in history to ever go 0-16.
Everybody knows that because everybody likes to remind the Lions fans that they are the only team that has gone 0-16. I'm just saying that is not going to happen again. They have a great team. They have a great defense. The defense really stepped up against Seattle, and it was exciting.
Well,
They chased Russell Wilson around. They forced him to fumble.
Hey,
they
man,
got a defensive
you're
touchdown.
telling me I have Kevin Johnson in quite a few leagues.
I have him in two leagues. Two leagues. I finally was able to get him after years and years and years of drafting in fantasy football. I would always be one-upped, and I finally
This guy
got
offered
him.
me the farm last year for Calvin Johnson. I had him in our league, and he was like, "I'll give you my first, my second. I'll give you Alshon Jeffrey, DeMarco Murray. Man, I just want Calvin Johnson." And I said no, which I'm kind of regretting this year.
And he's my boy, and I'll always. I'm glad Jim Caldwell is not looking for excuses and he's just moving on. You can let this dwell on you and it can become something that shapes your team for the rest of the year. Kind of the way that everybody was thinking the Seahawks were going to be after being picked off on the 1 yard line. But
after the Super Bowl, right?
After the Super Bowl, during the Super Bowl. But they struggled a little bit without their defensive leader, Cam Chancellor, but they got him back, and Bam Bam Cam
He made a huge play.
making huge plays. And I cannot fault him for that. But the Lions just got to put it behind them and move on. One play, one game.
That's a true fan there. But, enough about your Lions, the sad. Let's take a look at what we did this past week. We went out to Granada Hills High School. We interviewed some of the players on the football team. So take a look.
Red.
Hey guys, it's Mike from Fantasy Rush. I'm here at Granada Hills Charter High School and talking to some of the football players out here today. First up, the quarterback for Granada Hills. So you have, so far this season, 947 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, and your longest was 2 70-yard passes. Were those bombs down the field, little slant passes that just developed into something that went for more than you were hoping?
The one was last week against Palisades, was to fade to Mason, and it was like a 40-yard throw, and Mason took the rest. Nice. Ended up being 70 yards.
Nice. Yeah. Anything going through your head before those plays develop? Are you seeing something in the defense that you think might develop into something more?
Yeah. If I see like a corner playing on, or like if the safeties are going to another side, yeah. Because I know I have some really fast receivers.
Daniel, what position do you play?
I'm a kicker.
Kickers are people too, man. What's the longest field goal that you have made in a game, and the longest field goal you've made in practice?
In a game, I've hit a pair of 47, and then at practice, I hit a 64.
Man, that's no joke. 47 is awesome in a game. 64, I don't think I could kick 20 yards.
You saw that, right? That's because it was a missed kick by the punter. Do you understand that? You can't have a missed kick. Because you were calling it red, they're expecting it right.
You have 17 receptions on the year so far, 289 yards, 3 touchdowns. You're off to a great start so far. This is over 4 games, right?
Yes.
You play offense and defense. Which one do you like best?
I mean, I like offense because I like making guys miss. I like catching the ball. and scoring touchdowns, but at the same time, I love defense because I love making a good hit on someone. Get the crowd started up.
Strong right 743. Strong right 743 on one. Ready?
Tell us how you're gripping the ball, how you're releasing the ball, what you're thinking about as you're throwing it.
All right. So first, I put 2 fingers on the laces, just 2. I like to have just that little space right there in between, and then shoulders towards your target. Make sure you point with your toe, and then with that finger, flick your wrist, get the spin on the ball. Gets a nice spiral.
Do you play fantasy football?
No, unfortunately, I do not. I want to, but I mean, my mom was always telling me I need to focus on school right now, so I don't have time for fantasy football.
Yes, me and my friends created a league we're playing right now.
No, I don't.
Another one that doesn't play fantasy sports. How are you doing in your fantasy league this year?
I actually just took a loss, so I'm 2-1 right now.
Well, I'm 2-1 right now.
Being 2-1 is great. You know, right now I'm 0-3. I'm 0-3. I'm 0-3.
We call him Owen.
0-3. 0-3.
Owen.
Tough start. I have a good team. It just hasn't worked out for me. Mike, he's 3-0, which is kind of annoying, but you know.
You're 2-1. You're coming up into week 4. Is it going to be an easy matchup this week, or you thinking that it's going to be a challenge to say go 3-1?
I think it's going to be easy going against my friend who's 0-3.
And that's it.
That segment really cheered me up, man. I had a good time hanging out with the kids at Granada Hills, and it something there at the end. I'm trying to remember what it was about you saying that you're not going to be 0-5 yet. That
Hey man,
you
look,
were 0-3.
we had a lot of fun. Let's just leave it at that. We don't got to talk about what was said, what wasn't said. I'm not 0-5, by the way.
You're 0-4.
Oh, come on, man. I'm 0-4, but I'm not trading the farm.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
But let's get into some of the players that maybe week 4 you're looking to trade away. You're trying to get them off your roster because they're just underperforming. And for you, Doug Martin was a guy that you figure is some great trade bait this week.
Yeah, I mean, I would trade away Doug Martin. He's a player that I like, but the offense is very unpredictable. He just had a big game. I mean, he was the 14th leading scorer in all of fantasy and standard
And they still
leagues.
have a lot of faith in Charles Sims, and they're trying to break in Jameis Winston. So they have a lot of weapons that they're just trying to figure out how to use.
While he just had that big game, sell him and make sure you tell the other user, like, man, I'm giving you, top 15 scorer, which he was last week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's somebody definitely I would trade away.
Yeah.
You were thinking about
Frank Gore.
Yeah.
Their Colts are working out Ahmad Bradshaw this week with Gore's toe injury. Maybe hold on to him a little bit longer, see if he has a big game. But with Ahmad Bradshaw coming in, it looks like it's going to be a timeshare. And Gore's been underperforming this whole year so far, so hang on to him another couple weeks and then sell him fast.
Yeah, he's getting up there in age too. One of your favorites from last year.
One of my favorites last year, yes.
Jimmy Graham.
Jimmy Graham. I took him in our work league early. I took him in the 3rd round, I think it was. I immediately, upon clicking draft player, regretted that decision. And
He's not lying. Like immediately when he drafted the player.
I got blinders on and I saw Jimmy Graham was still on the board and I was like, yay! And I clicked.
Yeah.
And based on how they were using him in preseason, I was like, man, they are not going to use him as a receiving tight end.
Well, he had a big game a
And I
couple
sold
weeks
him.
ago, and he got a good deal for him too. And I would wait. He's going to have another big game. I mean, he's Jimmy Graham. He has a big name, so you can so trade him as soon as he has another big game.
Yep.
And get some value for him. Maybe you need running back help
Yeah.
or something. Get somebody off the waivers.
Carlos Hyde is another guy that is
Man.
just he blew up week 1 and now he has hit the brakes.
Yeah,
And-
he's somebody that I think you should trade. Another kind of same situation as Doug Martin. The offense is really bad.
Yeah. Well, and they are cycling Jared Heinen quite a bit. I mean, I feel like I hear his name more associated with 5 and 6 yard rushes than Carlos Hyde.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that he's going to take that away, the starting job away, but I mean he's definitely competing with Carlos Hyde. So
Well, and Reggie Bush has been hurt, so he's going to be coming back. He's going to be taking some third down work.
Yeah.
I mean, the week to trade him was week 1, but wait, he might have another. I mean, he's talented. He's going to have another big game, and then trade him away. Get somebody who's a Niners fan, and get somebody good for him.
Well, and somebody who's performing well right now, but coming into week 6, the Dallas Cowboys are saying that Dez Bryant might be coming back. Jason Witten it has been on fire. I mean, 10 to 15 points per game.
Yeah.
He's doing well. He's performing well. So sell him now while you can and get help where you need it.
Yeah, and we've talked about Jason Witten before. I mean, he's solid. He's going to get you always at 8 points, but if you're looking for something flashy, get, big time scorer,
Yep.
Gronk type scorer, Jason Witten's really not going to get you
Yeah.
that. So, I mean, this was actually surprised me. You want to trade away Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry, with everything that's come out this week so far with Ryan Tannehill, Joe Philbin being fired, I think that it's time to sell him. Jarvis Landry is playing well, but with all the turmoil and Ryan Tannehill just not being leadership material and calling out practice squad players that are just trying to make a living, man, there's going to be, from the defensive line all the way to the offensive line and everybody in between, it's going to be bad.
Well, I still think you should hold on to him. He's still the leading receiver there. I mean, yeah, the quarterback said some things, but he's still getting targets.
Yeah, but I mean, if he's doing that and the line starts opening up holes, we might have an RG3 situation.
He has Rashard Matthews on his team. I think that's
Yeah.
why he wants to trade away.
A guy that I think you should trade away right now is C.J. Anderson, especially after Ronnie Hillman's big game. I think it's time to let him go.
Well, I think you should trade for C.J. Anderson. I think he's a good trade for candidate because you're gonna get like pretty much, you're not gonna give up anything. If you give your 5th running back for C.J. Anderson, if somebody gives you their 5th running back, what is that? I mean, gives you C.J. Anderson for your 5th running back. Is that really gonna hurt you? I think he's a stash candidate. He was the best fantasy running back down the stretch last year. Ronnie Hillman, yes, he had that big run. Aside from that, he averaged 3.1 yards per carry.
Yeah.
Not very impressive. Neither one have been very impressive, actually, thus far, except for that one run by Ronnie Hillman. And CJ's been hurt. So
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for him to get healthy.
Yeah. Well, and with all these guys trading and moving and Owens and
Come on, man.
we're gonna go ahead and segue right into our segment of Start That Fool.
All right, Mike. So
I have some bold predictions on here
he
this
does
week.
have some bold predictions. We have a lot of good performing players. What do you think about Carson Palmer this week?
Against the Lions, coming out with that tough loss in Seattle, I think that the Lions are going to really wreak havoc, and I say sit that fool.
Man, that's bold. It is his Lions, though. But, what about Big Red, Andy Dalton?
Oh, man. Against the Seahawks again, another chip on their shoulder. I think they're going to do the same thing. They're going to come out and prove that, man, despite the mistakes that we made, we are the best. So I say sit that fool.
All right, another top guy. Roddy White.
Roddy White is squeaking this week in Atlanta. He is not happy with his role in the offense. Like I said before, and when I called Jimmy Graham and said start Jimmy Graham, and Jimmy Graham had a big week, I say start that fool. Julio, he's going to be sharing some targets with Julio.
Well, that's pretty bold because he has not done anything the last couple of weeks. But
No.
Mike says start him.
Hey.
Alan Hearns.
Alan Hearns, I like Alan Hearns this week. They're going up against the Bucks. Allen Robinson's playing well, but he's their main guy there.
Yeah.
So I think Alan Hearns is going to have a pretty big game this week.
Yeah, and we talked about him, on our waiver segments before. So, yeah, I like that. Oh, come on, man. Dallas players.
Every single Dallas player this week,
What?
sit them.
Oh,
Sit them.
man.
From Terrence Williams to Jason Witten, Brandon Weeden. Against New England's defense, New England is going to run that score up and not give Dallas anywhere to breathe. So I say sit them all.
That's just sad. That's the inner lion talk.
Don't even show up, Dallas.
Amari Cooper, he's been balling.
Amari Cooper against the Broncos. Aqib Talib, I think, is going to have a big game matching up against the rookie receiver. I say sit that fool.
Yeah, that's a tough matchup. Yeah. All right. And he's coming back from suspension. Everybody's probably wondering what to do with Antonio Gates.
Antonio Gates, I think he's going to come out. He's going to have a great game. He's in the spotlight Monday Night Football against the Steelers. Start that fool.
All right, I like it. I like it. If he's on waivers, pick him up.
Yep.
Well, I think that does it for all today, Mike.
Yep. That's our Week 4 recap, and hopefully you guys got a W. If not, right here is the place to be.
Yeah. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at FantasyRushLATV. Send us all your questions, fantasyrush@latv.com. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I mean, you're already watching.
Yep.
Just go subscribe. It's
Click
that easy. Click it. Till next time, I'm Steve.
And I'm Mike. You guys take care, and good luck this week.
See ya.